I was raised as a member of the Messianic Jewish cult. What is that? Well, for us, we were essentially evangelicals who felt that we were God's chosen people, the new Jews, as it were, and as such, all of the Jewish commandments. Don't kindle a fire on the Sabbath day, abstain from eating for 24 hours on Yom Kippur, and go on a week-long camping trip for Sukkot applied to us. Our faith was very much in line with the typical born-again, praise Jesus evangelical, but how we worshipped was based on the commandments and rituals of the Old Testament. And we very much considered ourselves to be Jews, at least in God's eyes. Now, some people who identify themselves as Messianic Jews are actual Jews who have become Christians. And some were from non-Jewish families, but they argued that they were Jewish by blood nonetheless. How does that work? Well, the idea is that God's chosen people were the Jews. If you accept Jesus Christ, or Yeshua HaMashiach, as they would say, as your Lord and Savior, then you are evidently chosen by God. Ergo, you must be of the Jewish bloodline in some distant way, whether you realized it or not. Which is why telegony was such a big deal to these people. Most of the people in the congregation I found myself attending were white people of evident European descent, and some of these white European people felt that they were a part of some lost white tribe of Israel, and that their white European bloodline was blessed and chosen. To these people, it was a great sin for a woman of their white, supposedly Jewish race to have sex either with a non-believer or with a foreigner, because on top of the misogynistic incel implications of telegony, they had added an extra layer of racism. If you personally were saved, but not everyone related to you was saved, then that was because of the impurity in your family's bloodline. And if you, as a white, make-believe Jewish girl, were to sleep with, say, a black man from outside of your church, then you were further diluting the worthiness of your family's bloodline. You were making yourself even less pure. And if you were to ever have children, even if you had them years later by an upstanding white man from your church, they would still be part black and a little less likely to have even the capacity of having faith in Jesus. Consider how dangerous this concept is. Aside from the delusional levels of superiority and self-importance, it suggests that there are some families out there who have dirty blood. Again, this is just repackaged Nazi ideology. This time, in a case of bitter irony, masquerading in talits and yarmulkes, robbing actual Jews of their culture before turning around and questioning the purity of their bloodlines because, if you're really Jewish now, then how come you don't believe in Yeshua HaMashiach? It's grotesque and vile, and I am grateful that for all of the stupid things that my family and I and the people in our Messianic Jewish congregation believed, that particular ideology was limited to a small pocket within a relatively small subsection of our group.